national master from India. I wonder if this is the player I just played. They've become a national master now. It'd be funny.
When you lose a game of chess to somebody, you lose your points to them. And the higher rated they are compared to you, the more points you win off them. And the lower rated they are to you, the more points you lose to them.
I think we go there. I'll try for the fried liver idea.
So it's conceivable that the player that just beat me stole some of my points from my rating and became a national master, even though they were simply an expert.
If you want to exchange,
that's what I was getting at there.
A rook for a bishop, you can be my guest. I will do that because otherwise it messes up my structure.
The chess ratings system is very clever because it encourages you to play higher rated players than yourself, because you'll win more points off of them than you'll win by playing a lower rated player than yourself. And it discourages you from playing lower rated players, because if you lose to them, you will lose more points.
It's like a national master with no ideas. Come on, what's your idea? What's your strategy? Do something.
Kinside castling.
Got a strategy? I'm moving over. Out of line of that darned bishop. It's really annoying me. So that I can advance this pawn. Alright, well, we'll have a closed game then. That's what I was really hoping to do, was that move. He stopped me doing that, but now I've done it anyway. Just got to link the rooks now. He's going to come back with that bishop again. I don't see why he would need to or want to. Don't see what function that would have. Shut up. There's no need to be rude. If you're a national master, you should have manners.
When you're playing a national master, keep careful control of your pawn structure. Don't let them ruin it. And play a very defensive game. Get your rooks linked as soon as you can. And don't let his pieces enter your half of the board. Trade them off if you have to. You need to get your knights close to the middle of the board. It takes a couple of moves to do so. They can't just whiz into position like a bishop can. And always be checking who's got the good bishop, who's got the bad bishop, which bishop's good to trade off, what square's your piece, what colour you should be on, to avoid these bishops and the knights, because the knights sort of behave like a bishop that flip-flops.
This player is just so stupid. I really don't know what they think they're trying to do. It's just got no strategies. What the hell kind of a player are you? You're supposed to be a national master, but you're playing as if you have no strategies. It's really weird.
And keep checking it, because it changes as the pawns move. A bad bishop can become a good bishop suddenly. This is what you call the knight's tour. It's where the knight has to move through many squares to get onto a viable anchor with a pawn. He's anchored it onto the bishop finally. That was the anchor he was looking for. You can anchor a knight onto a pawn or a bishop, but of course I can chase it off. this move served two purposes. It actually enabled my bishop to now be able to attack his c-pawn without leaving that pawn undefended. It's now diagonally fired onto the other pawns. I don't know why I didn't grab my teddy. I should have done, because thinking that I was doubling up the attacks, attacking his knight as well was silly, because it can attack as it defends.
Why did you do that? Where do you think you're going to go from there? Into the corner.
So I didn't grab my teddy, I didn't grab that pawn. That's why I always say, grab your
You're
teddy.
supposed to be a national master.
And it also would have put my bishop in front of my passed pawn where it belongs. They are not so good at defending them from behind. So, passed pawn, yes, there it is, but hard to defend from behind with a bishop. Bishops should always be in front of pawns as a general rule. Instead, I've created an advanced fianchetto hole for the bishop to sort of hide back into so it can defend that pawn from afar while it sits on the 6th rank. Forcing an exchange of the bishop, obviously I had to check that his knight didn't have a way of moving away from that and giving check at the same time, which could have been lethal. And suddenly his knight is almost embarrassed. I very much doubt if that knight move is going to feature in his finest moments of chess. I know it looks like a sacrifice, but it's not, because my rook can take his knight if he takes that bishop. And if he doesn't take the bishop, I can take his rook, so he kind of has to take the bishop, and I'm going to get this troublesome knight out of my hair. A knight versus a rook in the end game can be very powerful, actually, because of the forking ability it has.
I should have done the check first. I had the check with another pawn to grab. Oh no, because he could have taken my my knight with his king after that.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. By doing overloading with attacks, you can quite often put too many of your own pieces at risk.
I'm going to slide up here.
I suspect he is seriously regretting giving me this pass pawn at the moment. Pass pawn plus rook plus knight is more powerful than rook plus rook. And our kings look on similar positions, but my knight is guarding the checking square for his rook. He can't come down. He could come down and try and get me from behind. His king, though, is actually in danger of being checked by a pawn if he's not careful, and getting really stuck. And this move made it more likely and rather dangerous. I didn't think this was a good move at all, because I can start to get my rook up now, and if I can get my rook behind his king, it's actually checkmate with a pawn is actually possible here. It's a little way in the distance. It's not obvious right now, but it's definitely possible.
It's getting a bit much, isn't it?
We just keep pushing those pawns. It's going to keep his stress level going up. And the knight forks, he's got to watch out for the knight forks at the same time. He's got a knight check potentially there that could fork his rook if he sticks his rook on the wrong square. This is very, very stressful and difficult to play. The position he's in now, I think I have the easier position, most definitely.
Check. Check.
Now he starts to get the upper hand here, but I've still got that lovely pass pawn sitting there. If I can get my king up to it, it'll get home.
Check. It's getting a bit scary for you, I would think. Where's my checking square? That's it. Oh, because I could have just taken that rook and I didn't. I didn't. Oh, why did you resign? I was trying to do a fork that would win his rook at the top. He resigned because he made a mistake. He assumed that I was going to capitalize on, but I didn't see it. I didn't see the mistake. So he made an even bigger mistake, which was to resign. National Master, come on. Because really, I should have done that. But then he could have done that, you see. It wasn't the end of the game. It wasn't the end of the game at all. It's taken me up. Okay. It's just one of these people that all they know how to do is to attack. This isn't a strategy, this is just pure aggression. So I'm going to annoy them by recapturing with the pawn, which they won't have expected. Because their whole idea was to stop me castling on that side, which is fine. Now I attack you here.
Check.
Hmm.
Check.
Let him have it back.
Check.
That was a bad move.
Check.
Goodbye, queen. A present for you.
Check.
Very good. But I've got more.
Check.
And then I castle, I suppose.
Queenside castling.
It's the kind of victory you want to see, isn't it? At the end of your when you've been having a bad day at chess. Let's just sack that there for that. There we go. Very good, but it doesn't actually... It's not a real fork, is it? Let's do it like that. That's a bit weird.
Checkmate.
They wanted a rematch. I'm feeling kind, even though I've got my rating up again. But I'm going to do a defensive game. I haven't really got the measure of this player yet. Not really sure what kind of player they are. Whether they're going to go for some sort of all-out attack. I think they just developed they overdeveloped their pieces without really structuring that development. Gave me a piece very early on. So that's what I'm looking out for. I'm looking out for gifts. Yeah, I think I've just got to close it up. And then we can try and just get rid of that for now. That's all absolutely fine. That's all good.
Check.
Let's move him over. Get that going like that. Do you know what? I think I'm just going to do it like that. And then that. Now you're looking at some bad checks.
Check.
We'll go back to there for a minute. Attack his queen. Be a bit careful. I could get my queen trapped if I'm not careful, so I'm going to get her out for now. I might forego castling completely. Looking at a bit of a pin here, a bit of a skewer. If I can just do this. Let's get that fair first. Okay, we'll do it differently then. We'll have the skewer there as a reveal. I think we'll do that as well. Same thing again. I've got you with the same thing again. What's the matter with you? This is how you lose your queen. This kind of thing. That's how you lose your queen. She came without backup. She brings up the rear of the queen. She doesn't form the front of the attack. How can you be a Class A player and you make the queen at the very forefront of the attack with all my troops there in the way? You must be an absolute madman. I can't decide what to capture with. I'm going to capture with, for some reason my mind is telling me the bishop should be the one to capture with. Right, let's just do this. Then we're going to have to start. We've closed that hole up now. Where's it going to go? I think my knight is less useful than my bishop actually at this point, so we're going to keep the bishop. Hang on to the bishop.
Check.
Of course, if he captures that, he's going to lose it. No, he doesn't lose it straight away. Yeah. Bring the queen over. Bring the queen over.
Check.
This is where queens come in. They bring up the rear.
Check.
Could have been more mean. I could have taken the rook instead. Mind you, then no one can recapture. I'm going to just grab my teddy there. And then we're going to do the diagonal.
Check.
How do you want to do this? Yes, because if you move the pawn up, I'm just going to take it. If you don't move the pawn up, we're going to get ready with this. Oh, it's a thing of beauty. It's a patchwork quilt of beauty.
Check.
Checkmate on the next move, no matter what you do. But I'm going to go for the beautiful one. I'm going to go for this one.
Checkmate.
You've had your rematch. Where does it take me to? 78. That's okay. It's about 10 points I've gained today. Although 10 of those were gained playing a National Master. Perhaps I'll include that game, although he shouldn't have resigned, but he did. So I think I'll include the National Master game, and I'll include those last 2 games against that Malaysian. They will be the 3 games on this video. Thanks for watching.